Welcome back to Sugarbee, your ultimate destination for all things Bridgerton. Today, we're diving into the drama, romance, and shocking secrets of Bridgerton Season 4, Betrayal in the Ballroom. From forbidden romances to unexpected betrayals, the upcoming season promises to leave fans breathless. Stick around, because we're breaking down everything we know episode by episode, secret by secret. The season opens with a spectacle befitting the grandeur of the Bridgerton universe. A lavish masquerade ball held in one of London's most opulent estates. The chandeliers glint like constellations overhead, casting shimmering reflections across the polished floors. The air is thick with anticipation, the scent of roses and candle wax mingling, and the soft murmur of aristocrats exchanging pleasantries gives the scene an air of refined elegance. Music floats through the room, string quartets, harps, and the occasional piano chordal perfectly orchestrated to set hearts racing and minds scheming. Into this glittering world steps Sophie Beck, disguised as the mysterious lady in silver. Her gown catches the light with every careful movement, a cascade of shimmering fabric that leaves a trail of wonder in her wake. Beneath her delicate mask, her eyes scan the room cautiously, aware of every glance and whispered conversation, though she is working as a maid in the household. Tonight she is untouchable, enigmatic, and every step she takes draws attention. Benedict Bridgerton, always attentive to the finer details of the world around him, notices her immediately. There is something ethereal about her presence, something that captures his curiosity and stirs emotions he has not fully explored. His usual confidence is tinged with intrigue as he watches her glide gracefully across the ballroom. While the guests revel in the music, dance, and lavish gowns, hidden tensions simmer just beneath the surface. Aristocrats smile and bow, but their polite facades hide ambition, envy, and scheming. Even among the household staff, loyalties are tested. Servants whisper in corners, glances are exchanged that speak of secrets, and small, seemingly insignificant actions hint at deeper plots. Jonathan Bailey has teased fans that a shocking betrayal will occur during this very event. He hints that someone the Bridgertons trust implicitly may not be as loyal as they appear. A revelation that could send ripples through the family and change the course of the season. Anthony Bridgerton, no longer the primary focus of his own romantic saga, has transitioned into a role of mentorship and oversight. From a distance, he observes the ballroom, noting subtle shifts in behavior and the smallest signs of deceit. He senses danger, an almost imperceptible tension, but the social rules of propriety prevent him from intervening too soon. He must navigate the delicate balance of protecting his family while maintaining appearances, aware that acting prematurely could provoke suspicion or worsen the unfolding situation. Meanwhile, Sophie and Benedict navigate the same crowded floor, their attention caught in a delicate dance of curiosity and allure. Every smile, every bow, every turn of the mask carries meaning. And yet both are acutely aware of the unspoken rules of this society. As the music swells and the crowd moves in coordinated chaos, the seeds of romance, intrigue, and betrayal are quietly sown. The masquerade, a scene of sparkling beauty and festive joy, transforms into a stage for hidden motives, whispered secrets, and the first sparks of conflict that will define the season. By the end of the evening, viewers are left captivated, knowing that beneath the glamour and gilded edges, shadows lurk waiting to reveal betrayals that will challenge the Bridgertons in ways they never anticipated. The ballroom is no longer just a place of celebration, it has become the first battlefield of trust, desire, and intrigue. As the masquerade ball continues, the initial sparkle of excitement begins to mingle with a sense of unease. Beneath the music, laughter, and swirling gowns, the first threads of tension start to unravel. Benedict Bridgerton, captivated by the mysterious lady in silver, finds himself drawn not only to her beauty but to the enigmatic aura that surrounds her. There is an intensity in her gaze, a quiet strength in her posture, that makes him forget, even briefly, the weight of family obligations and societal expectations. Yet, for all their enchantment and shared glances, danger lurks just beyond the shimmering chandeliers. Sophie Beck's true identity as a maid working in the household is still a secret, but each step she takes across the ballroom floor is a delicate balancing act. One wrong word, one careless glance from the wrong person, and her carefully constructed disguise could crumble. In this world of masks, both literal and metaphorical secrets are a currency. And Sophie quickly realizes that trust is something to be earned, not given. A whisper in the right ear could change everything. She navigates the room with poise, smiling and conversing just enough to maintain her cover, but constantly scanning the crowd for any sign that her secret might be uncovered. Meanwhile, The atmosphere grows heavier as hidden agendas begin to emerge. A character previously thought to be loyal to the Bridgertons, a trusted advisor or servant, is revealed to be conspiring with the family's rivals. This minor character's duplicity may seem small at first, but it has the potential to disrupt the household in profound ways. Their secret communications, fleeting glances with outsiders, and seemingly casual remarks carry weight, and every subtle move adds to the mounting tension. The ball, which moments ago seemed a celebration of elegance and romance, now feels like a stage set for scandal, intrigue, and emotional upheaval. Lady was, ever the observant chronicler of London's elite, narrates with her signature wit and pointed insight. Her voice adds another layer to the unfolding drama, hinting at betrayals that have yet to be revealed and consequences that will shake the foundations of the Bridgerton household. She comments on the dynamics of power, love, and ambition, teasing viewers with the knowledge that no one is entirely safe from deception, not even those at the center of the room. Her narration serves as both commentary and prophecy, keeping audiences on edge while amplifying the suspense of every stolen glance and whispered conversation. As the evening progresses, Benedict and Sophie find fleeting moments of intimacy, their connection deepening despite the omnipresent threat of exposure. They share quiet smiles, subtle touches, and exchanged glances that reveal their growing affection. But every interaction is shadowed by the knowledge that their budding romance could be jeopardized at any moment. With every passing minute, alliances are tested, loyalties are questioned, and the seeds of betrayal begin to take root in unexpected ways. By the end of the night, the ballroom no longer feels magical. What was once an enchanting scene of romance and celebration has been transformed into a web of secrets, manipulation, and danger. Every character is implicated in some manner. Every conversation carries double meaning, and every glance could signal impending treachery. For Benedict, Sophie, and the rest of the Bridgerton household, the true game of power, trust, and deception has only just begun. Anthony Bridgerton, the eldest Bridgerton sibling, has always carried the weight of responsibility on his shoulders, but Season 4 places him in a new and more complex role. No longer the central figure of a romantic saga, Anthony steps into the shadows of the household's drama, acting as both protector and strategist. His presence at the masquerade ball is less about celebration and more about observation. He watches the glittering dance of high society with sharp eyes, reading every gesture, every glance, every subtle shift in demeanor. He knows that the Bridgerton name carries power, but it also draws envy, jealousy, and deception. Tonight, his role is to safeguard his family from threats both seen and unseen. The growing connection between Benedict and Sophie weighs heavily on him. Anthony recognizes the sincerity of their feelings and understands the significance of the budding romance. He also knows that Sophie is a newcomer, a young woman navigating the complexities of London society while maintaining a delicate secret, her role as a maid. Anthony wants to allow love to flourish, but he also feels the burden of caution. Every move he makes is calculated, every word carefully chosen. He is acutely aware that one wrong decision could shatter trust, reveal secrets, or put Sophie and Benedict in danger. Beyond protecting others, Anthony faces an internal struggle rooted in his own past. Memories of his almost wedding to Edwina, the heartbreak of missed moments with Kate, and the lingering questions of love and loyalty haunt him. These past experiences give him wisdom, but they also create temptation and doubt. He sees in Benedict and Sophie a reflection of what he once had, and he is forced to confront his emotions while prioritizing the needs of those around him. It is a delicate balancing act, guiding his siblings without controlling their destinies, watching without interfering too aggressively, and stepping in only when necessary. This season, fans witness Anthony in a new light. He is no longer the passionate, impulsive hero chasing his own desires. Instead, he is a master strategist, quietly shaping outcomes from behind the scenes. His keen understanding of human behavior, the subtle power plays of London society, and his own experience navigating romance make him uniquely suited for this role. Yet, as cracks begin to appear, small betrayals, whispered secrets, and shifting alliances, Anthony realizes that even the most careful planning cannot prevent chaos entirely. His intellect and intuition are tested as he must anticipate the unpredictable, making choices that could have lasting consequences for everyone he loves. Anthony's dilemma is not just external but profoundly personal. He grapples with questions of loyalty, duty, and the sacrifices required to maintain family unity. Every action he takes is weighed against the potential fallout, and he must decide when to step forward and when to stay in the shadows. His protective instincts are constantly at odds with his desire to allow others to find happiness freely. By the end of this chapter, viewers see Anthony Bridgerton as a multidimensional, figure-wise, perceptive, and deeply human. He is a guardian of the Bridgerton legacy, yet he is also a man confronting the vulnerabilities that make him relatable. His dilemma sets the stage for the season's unfolding drama, where love, loyalty, and betrayal intersect, and every decision has the potential to change the family's destiny forever. The glittering ballroom, once the crown jewel of the evening, transforms into a labyrinth of suspicion as the night deepens. Benedict, who entered with a playful ease and the hopeful glow of newfound chemistry, finds his certainty slipping away. Someone he once trusted implicitly begins weaving subtle manipulations into the evening's events, pushing him toward decisions he never intended to make. It starts small, a quiet warning disguised as friendly advice, a misdirected remark meant to stir jealousy, a strategic nudge that leaves Benedict questioning both himself and Sophie. This shift in the air becomes even more precarious as Sophie's past shadows materialize. A familiar figure from her old life circles the edges of the ballroom, watching her with a recognition that sends goosebumps along her arms. She knows her disguise, her mere presence here hangs by the thinnest thread, and one word from the wrong person could collapse everything. Her pulse quickens, not from the thrill of Benedict's attention, but from the creeping dread that her secret may no longer be hers to control. Yet amid the tension, the connection between Benedict and Sophie remains luminous. Their soft exchanges, lingering looks, and hesitant smiles create a pocket of intimacy in a room full of wolves. Sophie's voice trembles just slightly when she speaks to him, a mixture of yearning and fear. Benedict feels it too, the magnetic pull toward her that both excites and unnerves him. Something precious is forming, but danger coils around its edges like smoke. Meanwhile, the manipulator working against Benedict grows bolder. They're not acting out of simple jealousy or spite. Their motives are tied to alliances formed long before this ball, connections that benefit from chaos among the bridge. Every movement on the ballroom floor begins to feel choreographed to place Benedict in an unfavorable light or to create tension between him and Sophie. And he can't shake the feeling that every misstep is being watched. As Sophie's past and Benedict's present collide, the ballroom becomes far more than a grand celebration, it becomes a battlefield. Every whispered conversation holds weight, every sideways glance could be a warning, every smile from the wrong person holds a hint of poison. And though Benedict and Sophie cling to their chemistry, the road ahead is already stained with secrets. Their romance now has its first real test. Can love thrive when deception is closing in from all sides? The night reaches its first breaking point when a shocking revelation bursts through the carefully constructed facade of elegance. It begins with hushed whispers near the staircase, an overheard name, a hurried retreat, the unmistakable sound of fear disguised as propriety. The Bridgertons, long admired as a pillar of trust and loyalty, suddenly find themselves vulnerable as the truth emerges. One of their most trusted confidants has been leaking information to a rival family. This betrayal is not small. It's calculated, intentional, damaging. The reveal comes in a dramatic swirl of tension. Lady Whistledown's latest pamphlet drops, early delivered discreetly, almost mockingly, and inside lies a piece of information so specific that only someone within the Bridgerton inner circle could have supplied it. Gasps ripple through the ballroom as influential figures pass the paper between them. Anthony rushes to the scene, his expression darkening as he scans the contents. Benedict is the most shaken. He had believed in this confidant, shared stories, dreams, even pieces of himself he rarely let others glimpse. The sting of betrayal hits him harder than he expected. His hands tremble ever so slightly as he confronts the possibility that someone he once trusted could so easily turn on him. Sophie watches with wide, anxious eyes. She understands betrayal too well. She has endured it her entire life. Seeing it unfold here, this close to Benedict, only makes her heart ache deeper. She steps toward him, hesitant, unsure if she should offer comfort or space, but her presence alone steadies him. The tension builds as the ballroom's energy shifts. Music continues but feels hollow. Conversations hush into sharp whispers. Eyes dart toward Benedict, toward Anthony, toward the person whose guilt is becoming impossible to hide. Anthony intervenes before the situation explodes, pulling Benedict aside with a firm but brotherly hand. His voice is low, serious, layered with protective instinct. He hints at a deeper scheme, a strategy he has been quietly constructing to keep the Bridgertons safe. The betrayal, though painful, may reveal enemies they couldn't see before. And so, the night that began in dazzling splendor now shatters into suspicion and heartbreak. For the first time this season, the audience sees what's really at stake. Loyalty is a fragile thing, and betrayal can come from behind the brightest smile. In the aftermath of the betrayal, the ballroom feels colder. The chandeliers still shine, the gowns still shimmer, but the atmosphere carries an unmistakable tension. Yet amid this chaos, Benedict and Sophie carve out moments of closeness that feel all the more precious because of the danger surrounding them. Their romance unfolds in whispers, soft admissions of fear and hope exchanged. In corners where prying eyes can't reach, Benedict, shaken but not broken, finds solace in Sophie's gentleness. She listens without judgment, her gaze full of empathy. Sophie, in turn, begins to trust Benedict in ways that terrify her. She has lived her entire life hiding her identity, her lineage, her heart, but with Benedict, the walls she has built start to crack. Still, uncertainty looms large. Sophie fears her past will destroy everything. Benedict fears betrayal from those closest to him. Both are trying to navigate a world that seems determined to tear them apart before they truly begin. Secondary characters step forward in pivotal ways. Lady Araminta Gunn inserts herself into conversations with suspicious, east curious, to knowing. Her interest in the unfolding chaos is unsettling, especially when she begins asking pointed questions about Sophie's presence and background. Marcus Anderson's role becomes equally complicated. He appears torn between loyalty and ambition, offering help when it's convenient, but disappearing when things turn risky. Together, they create a shifting web of alliances that only intensifies the emotional stakes. Nothing feels secure. Every new ally may be a threat. Every smile could hide a trap. Through it all, Sophie and Benedict's connection deepens. They share a rare moment by a moonlit balcony when Sophie finally reveals a sliver of her past, just enough to show her vulnerability. Not enough to expose her entire truth. Benedict listens with quiet intensity, offering trust without hesitation. His tenderness in this moment is the anchor Sophie didn't know she needed, but love alone may not be enough to overcome what's coming. As the night wears on, the couple's intimate moments are constantly undercut by danger. They are being watched, listened to, shadowed by unseen eyes that linger just long enough to confirm everyone's worst fears. This chapter beautifully juxtaposes romance and risk, showcasing that sometimes the strongest love stories are born in moments of deep uncertainty. The season's tension erupts in a breathtaking confrontation scene that fans will replay over and over. The ballroom, so stunning in its gilded beauty, becomes the epicenter of emotional chaos. It begins when Benedict confronts the traitor head-on. The music softens as his voice cuts through the room with a mixture of hurt and controlled fury. His eyes, usually warm and soft, now blaze with righteous anger. Every step he takes across the ballroom feels cinematic, echoing with the weight of betrayal. Sophie stands frozen, her breath catching as she realizes the consequences may reach her too. She didn't choose this chaos, but her presence in the ballroom has become tied to every thread of deception. Lady Whistledown's narration fills the air in razor-sharp commentary, each word slicing deeper into the scandal. The traitor's excuses crumble quickly under pressure. Lies unravel, confessions spill out. The rival family's involvement becomes clear. They intended to destabilize the Bridgertons from within, to weaken their alliances and reputation before the season's biggest social event. But the confrontation isn't just about betrayal. It exposes truths that have been simmering beneath the surface for years. Anthony steps forward, revealing he suspected trouble long before tonight. His strategic calm becomes the backbone of the family's response. Benedict sees his older brother in a new light, less controlling, more protective. Deeply burdened by responsibility, the room watches in stunned silence as emotional fallout explodes around them. Friendships fracture, lovers question each other, alliances shift in real time. As the candlelight dims and the last whispers of scandal settle, Season 4 moves toward its bittersweet conclusion. The immediate threat has been addressed, the traitor exposed, the rival family thwarted. But the emotional scars linger like shadows along the ballroom walls. Benedict and Sophie survive the chaos, but it changes them. Their bond deepens, forged in hardship rather than fantasy. Benedict promises to stand by Sophie, no matter what her past holds, and for the first time, Sophie allows herself to believe that she deserves such devotion. Their final private moment is tender, hopeful, and full of aching promise. Anthony reflects on the season's events from the balcony overlooking the estate grounds. The weight of leadership sits heavily on his shoulders, but he gains a newfound appreciation for his siblings' resilience. His quiet monologue hints at challenges on the horizon: political tension, personal trials, and threats that extend far beyond a single night in the ballroom. Meanwhile, Supporting characters retreat into their own some plot revenge, others seek redemption. Lady Araminta Gunn leaves the final event with a knowing smile, suggesting she isn't done causing trouble. Marcus Anderson's unresolved motives continue to simmer in the background, creating anticipation for future conflict, and then comes the final scene, the moment that launches 1,000 fan theories. Lady Whistledown's voice narrates over a breathtaking montage of the Bridgerton estate at dawn. Her tone is playful but sharper than ever. She speaks of new alliances forming, dangerous rivalries awakening, and a romance destined to change the future of the Tun. Her last line hints that one secret, still buried, will soon return to the surface, and when it does, it will shake the Bridgertons once more. The camera slowly closes in on a sealed letter delivered to Benedict. Its crest unfamiliar and ominous. Cut to black. Season 4 ends with resolution, romance, and just enough mystery to leave fans desperate for more. Every hallmark of a perfect Bridgerton finale. As dawn breaks over the Bridgerton estate, the echoes of the ballroom's chaos still hang in the air. The traitor has been exposed, the rival family's scheme dismantled, and the glittering night that began with dreams and romance ends with the taste of betrayal still burning on everyone's lips. But out of the ashes of scandal rises something far more powerful. Truth. Benedict and Sophie stand side by side on the edge of the terrace, their silhouettes framed by the first warm streaks of morning light. The world nearly tore them apart, yet here they are, bruised, shaken, but together. Benedict takes Sophie's hand and tells her that no mask, no secret, no whisper from the shadows will ever change the way he sees her. And for the first time in years, Sophie allows herself to believe in a future she once thought unreachable. Inside the estate, Anthony watches quietly. Season 4 has changed him, too. He has learned that leadership is not just about strength, it's about sacrifice, trust, and knowing when to let your family fight their own battles. He gives Benedict a small nod, a silent blessing that speaks louder than any words. But peace never lasts long in the world of the Tun. Just as the Bridgertons begin to breathe again, a final messenger arrives. A sealed letter, heavy, unfamiliar, carrying the crest of a distant, long-forgotten house. Benedict breaks the seal. His eyes widen. Sophie steps closer. Anthony tenses. We don't see what's written inside, but Lady Whistledown tells us one thing. If you believed the ballroom held the only secrets, my dear readers, you have not yet danced your final waltz. The camera pulls back from the estate as the sun rises over London, casting long dramatic shadows that hint at new rivals, new scandals, and new passions waiting just beyond the horizon. Season 4 ends, not with closure but with a promise that the next chapter will challenge the Bridgertons more than ever before, and that love, no matter how powerful, is never truly safe in a world built on secrets.